Hi everybody, Speaker Scott here, otherwise known as Scott Hinson, and I've got another video today for you on recapping that SAE3100 amplifier. This is the output stage, amplifier stage. The power supply and protection board is already done. I've got that off someplace else. A lot of people have trouble desoldering. Okay, there's many ways to do this. There's like vacuum solder sucker things. I have one of those. I don't know if I've used it this decade or even last decade, and I don't think they work particularly well, at least not for me. They're fine for ICs, but typically the way these boards and boards like this were made, these components had really long leads. They would put the components through the board, bend the lead over, trim them off, and then run them through some kind of reflow or mass soldering step, okay? And once you bend that lead over, the solder sucker is not going to be as effective. It works great for like op amps and things like that, ICs, where the pin goes straight through the hole in the printed circuit board, but it doesn't work so good for these. So I'm going to show you what I do. It involves a little bit of enduring some discomfort with your fingers. So I've got a component here, either a capacitor or a diode of some kind that they've tacked on the back that's actually in the way. So what I'm going to do is very carefully, trying to A, show you, and B, not burn myself, unsolder one side of that component, kind of peel that back, alright? The more you do this, the more used to that heat on your fingers you'll be. It is warm. Don't hurt yourself, but kind of get over it. Then I take my hand and I'll grab the part, and I've got a very large solder tip, very large angled blade. And for most parts, you can get on a 2 or 3 lead part in one shot. And out it comes. It's that simple. Wait. Now, what some people will do at this point is they'll reuse that solder, reheat that solder, and push the new component through. I don't like that method because very often it will pull the solder pad off the board if you don't wait for that part. So I've got solder wick. I've got my new capacitor, again a Nichicon Gold, which is a little extravagant on this amp, but pretty good choice. And then I'm going to use the solder wick to take the old solder off. Check polarity, otherwise that brand new cap will go pop. Feed it through very carefully. Right, and then solder it back on. A lot of people would freak out about using a solder tip this large. You're just careful about how you angle it in there. And this is something that's important to do. Hold on to those leads when you trim them off, because if they go into that piece of equipment and you don't realize it, that could be a disaster. So now I've got to put that leaded component that they tacked on the back on where it originally was. And there you go. That capacitor is replaced. Took me probably 2 minutes because I was talking about it, maybe 4 minutes, not sure how long this video is going to be. But it would be about 30 seconds if I wasn't talking about it. So that's all you have to do to recap. Pay attention to values and voltage ratings. It's okay to go up in voltage ratings, never below. It's usually not a good idea to go up in value. If you've pulled a 100 microfarad capacitor, put a 100 microfarad capacitor back in there. That's about it. So I've only got one left on this board, and the amplifier board will be completely recapped. See you next time.